Northwest City Politics in the Know with Juanita. We're glad to have you watching our show again this week. We're always happy for viewers like you that are interested in what's happening in our cities. Because it is important for good government that there be a flow of information back and forth between the city council and the mayor, the city staff, and the residents. So we're glad that you're with us again tonight. If you haven't watched our show before, each week we'll have somebody on from one of the 9 cities in CCX's viewing area to tell us about what are the current and some of the future issues that are happening in the city. Then, if it's an issue that resonates with you and it's one that concerns you and you live in that city, be sure to take down their name and email and phone number so that you can get in contact and let them know what you're thinking. Or do the same with your mayor and city council. Now, we're very happy tonight to have 2 people with us from Crystal. We've got Julie Deshler, who is on, now which ward are you in?
I represent Ward 4, which is the northern portion of Crystal, close to the Crystal Airport.
Okay. And Nancy LaRoche.
Hi.
One of the newer council members,
Brand
right?
new this year. Started in January and in Section 1, the southern half of Crystal.
So we're glad that you're both with us and fill us in on what's happening in Crystal. And Julie's been here before, so she knows that I'm going to ask her to introduce herself out to our wider audience. People in your area of Crystal would know you, but some of the people might not. So a little bit about your time in this area.
Well, my name is Julie Deshler. I represent the area north part of Crystal. I've been on the city council since 2010. I first ran late 2009 to fill a seat that was vacated by Gary Grimes, who had held the seat for many, many years.
Oh, right.
And he retired because of illness. And so I finished his 2-year term. I won that seat. And then the following 2012, I ran again, but nobody ran against me. So like I said, it's kind of easy to win when nobody runs against you.
Right.
And then this year in 2016, I had an opponent, but was blessed enough to win again.
Right,
so
right.
I'll be representing the residents until 2020.
Okay, and Nancy LaRoche.
My turn. Hi.
Right.
My name's Nancy LaRoche. I'm a 20-year resident of Crystal with my husband Walt. We currently live with a rescued dog, Spencer, who's the talk of the town and quite the character. But we love Crystal. The minute we moved in, we went to the city to get information on our house. The staff was so helpful, pulled out the file on the house. We got to see what was done, talked to the police department, asked them about the neighborhood. They said it's great. We never get calls. We rarely get calls. So we have just absolutely loved it here. And from right off the bat, had a wonderful experience with city staff. And so my heart's always been here. Been involved with Crystal, oh gosh, since 2006. I was an election judge. Been doing that for 10 years up until last year when I ran. Been on the Park and Rec Commission for 5 years. That ended at the end of last year. I was also appointed to the Charter Commission. And I'm also a volunteer for the Crystal Frolics Committee. I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years.
An area that a lot of cities have done, and we'll check and see what Crystal's been involved with, but there's a program called Scattered Site Housing that people out there might not even know. Scattered Site Housing, what in the world is that? But that Crystal has been involved in it. Can you tell us a little bit about the program, how this redevelopment works in Crystal? Kind of lay it out for people that maybe don't know what's involved?
Do you want me to start and you can finish?
You start, Julie.
Okay.
You're the mentor.
Right. You should let me mentor you. Years ago, when the housing market kind of crashed and there was a lot of foreclosures, and people were walking away from their homes and they were looking kind of decayed and grass was overgrowing, nobody was buying homes. The city has economic development, it's an EDA authority, and we have a small taxing capacity. If you look at your property taxes really closely, you'll see a little EDA type tax. So that money goes into a fund and we can use those funds to make improvements in the community. So years ago when those blighted homes were sitting just vacant, some of them were going for $40,000, $50,000. And while we would prefer that the private, business corrects itself.
Oh, sure.
Sometimes you can't let it just sit there because it can
really affects.
ruin an entire neighborhood.
Oh, yes.
So the city started buying up some of those blighted properties for fairly low money. Again, that no private business wanted or no private person was going to buy.
Yeah, you weren't
at the
interfering
time.
with.
We're not interfering with that commercial.
Right.
And then on the off time when the Public Works Department wasn't real busy, they would go in and level them. And then we would kind of reclaim the grass. We'd plant grass so it would look a little better. And then we sent out, when we had one for sale, then we would send it out to the developers or the construction people, and then they would offer to buy it and put a home up. So we've gotten quite a few new homes in Crystal by doing that. So it's been a really successful program, and it's gotten rid of a lot of blighted properties that are eyesores to neighborhoods.
And all of our closer suburbs have houses that go back many, many years, right?
And we still have some, but now we don't have nearly as many, and the foreclosure rate is way down from what it was 5-6 years ago. I mean, it was scary, 160 foreclosures in a city our size a year. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's high.
And then how many lots do you have left that Crystal is selling?
4, I believe, right?
Yeah.
4 lots are currently for sale. I'm looking down at my notes. We did not acquire any homes in the last year. And Hennepin County gave up 3 lots along Bottineau Boulevard, or just off Bottineau Boulevard. And those are going up for sale for private home, single family homes.
Yeah, I think in all of the suburbs that are doing it, it's been a very successful program.
Very much so. We also, in addition to buying up lots, we do a lot of help with residents who want to help fix up their homes.
Oh, right.
And
Which,
so
that's redevelopment by the individual person that lives there, right?
Correct, right. So that, it all goes towards keeping that property value up for everyone. Everyone wins when that happens. So.
And it's an important responsibility for cities, to maintain the overall appearance.
Correct.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, it's been a good program. But now as the costs are starting to skyrocket again, and we don't have many homes for sale in Crystal at all right now. As soon as they go on the market, boom, they're gone.
Oh, right.
Sell very quickly. Those lower income, the homes that are under 300. I was at an event earlier, and a realtor came up and just said, "How are things going?" I hear it's crazy, and he said they can't keep inventory for homes under 300,000, and especially in our neighborhood, they're in the 200, 250 range. They're going as soon as they're up.
Yeah,
in
it
sale.
helps people get started.
Plus, we have good location.
Oh, definitely.
You're not having to drive 40 miles to get into work. We're 10 minutes from downtown.
No, this northwest area is a pretty good area, I think.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
Yep.
Now, we made reference to Crystal's master park vision. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the process that the council is using. What's the process you're following, and then we'll talk about the details.
Absolutely. They asked for bids from different developers, not developers, but just the consultants.
Okay.
And it shows, I believe it was SVK, that sounds about right. This group went around and we did some public hearings and brought in maps of parks. We invited residents to come. They took notes, they took input. They also did online through sidewalk.com. Do you have things, what would you like to see in your parks? So they took all the feedback from residents as well as city staff, city council, stakeholders, businesses nearby, and put together or is developing this plan now, which we were just recently presented with some of the drawings and schemes of the schematics of the new parks, the makeovers. And those are online for people to see as well. So you can see that. They're not set in stone. These are just concepts at this point. And literally one of the concepts we were shown that night at council meeting was changed just before. So we were looking at an old one at our packet, and when he showed it on the screen, it had already changed. They realized some things weren't quite right. So that was nice to see because it's adaptable and they're very willing to you know, if something's not going to work or it doesn't work in that area, oh yeah, let's put it over here.
And then you've got somebody that knows the whole process and what's current and what changes other people have made, right?
Absolutely. We have really good history with some of the people. Actually, I think our former recreation director, Jean, may still be involved or may have had some say into some of that as well. But the staff has been working really, really hard, and we love to see the input from residents too, their ideas. They're the ones using the parks.
Right, and
Yeah,
we
it affects
always
them directly.
encourage the people from cities to get involved, and so parks are one area that a lot of people probably have ideas about.
They do.
But
and
they
it's-
should take the time.
Right, and it's everything from sports to, hey, can we do some flowers? Can we help the bees? Can we help butterflies? Some of those things. But there are 4 different categories of parks.
Okay, I was just going to ask
Thank
you.
you.
About-
I'll lead
Now,
right
you
into
had
that.
27 parks,
We have
right?
27 total.
Okay, now tell
quite a
us-
few for a city our size.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. Everyone loves their parks, and we have a wide variety. The 4 are destination.
Okay.
Those are the types like Bassett Creek Park, where you've got the wetland, you have disc golf, you have that huge dog park, nice walking trails, nature trails, and things like that. Becker is the other one, where we have the frolics every year, and the baseballs, and the theater building. Community is the second category. That's a larger rec facility. There may be hockey rinks or a sliding hill like Valley Place Park. Neighborhood is a small play area. We have 13 there. And the last one is passive. And that may just be green space, maybe a little softball diamond or a bench. And no parking. Usually you just walk. It's very close to a resident. And those are the 4. And so all of these parks, not all will have changes right away.
Okay.
But the bigger parks such as Becker and Bassett Creek, minor changes to Valley Place. Welcome will have some major changes being done, but all very good and forward-thinking changes because we're thinking about families. We have young families in now.
All right.
These kids are all going into different sports than we did as kids. You
That's
don't
true.
see tennis as much played anymore. So some of the tennis courts are gone, but we still are keeping current ones, possibly enlarging the number, such
of
as
course.
at Valley Place Park, so we could have tournaments there, and converting them into pickleball.
Right.
So there's
that's
multi-use
one of the
sports.
newer ones, right?
Yeah, and at one of our neighborhood meetings last year, our park recreation director brought in some photos of potential playgrounds. The equipment is new and fun.
Right.
They also have these multi-purpose surfaces that you can put into hockey rinks. So instead of a hockey rink sitting empty all year, some of them are used for dog parks for seasonal, which is great.
Right.
But they can put this surface down that can be used all year. You could play tennis on it. You could skateboard on it.
Interesting.
You know, and in the winter you can put ice on it. So
multi-purpose, right.
things like that, so that there are more opportunities. Again, the
For
senior
use,
equipment, maybe some lawn bowling. You know, but Becker's really exciting because with the frolics in that, if in other events we could convert that park to have an open green space. We could have food truck festivals or flea markets or farmers markets, things like that. Thinking for more uses and more gathering opportunities for residents.
Okay, so at this point, you have a consultant who's gathering ideas and has put some plans together. What are the next steps in this whole process?
Well, the next step is they had the initial plan that was presented to council. There will continue to be public input through this whole process. Then the fun part begins. How are we going to pay for this?
Right.
We're thinking you might open up your checkbook for us.
Right.
Take care of it.
Yeah. Any benefactors out there, please? Yeah. So then we'll be getting recommendation from the Park and Recreation Commission as well. Those commission members have been fantastic. Very dedicated group of neighbors involved with that. So in addition to public, our commission, our stakeholders, our businesses, and other companies nearby, they say here that we hope for adoption by this new master plan in later this year, so that it can go right into the comprehensive plan, be fed into that.
Yeah, another joint, get twice as much for your money, right?
Exactly. So great things happening in the city of Crystal to come.
Exactly.
And then off of your website, I picked somebody that people can have contact, and I think it must be your consulting group?
Actually,
Because it was
that's
on
our
your
person
city
you have,
website.
Lacey is a reporter with the Sun Post.
Oh, okay.
But John Elmholm would
Okay,
be.
then I got the wrong one, but
Yeah,
I'll get
and we
that
can-
down.
I
Who
can
should
certainly
people
write-
contact?
John Elmholm is our recreation director, and he can be reached at 763-531-1150, or you can email him, John Elmholm. I'm sorry, it's ELHOLM. I keep putting too many M's in there. John Elmholm.
John period. John.
John period Elmholm at crystalmn.gov.
Okay,
GOV.
because we want to give people an opportunity that watch our program and think, oh, I didn't know you were
Right.
doing that, to have a chance to get their
And-
input into the process too.
For our listener, I'm going to do a little Vanna White
Oh,
here.
yeah.
For our listeners at home who get these newsletters, in here is your contact information. It lists all of our parks, the amenities, and who to contact, as well as all the recreational activities happening
Okay,
at
and
Crystal.
is this the latest one?
This is our, well, actually, this is spring.
Okay.
An early summer program.
Uh-huh.
So this was the most recent one. Here we go. This was our
Right,
most
right.
recent one that was mailed out probably February, somewhere in late
Mm-hmm. Okay.
winter. But all the information is there. Feel free to contact a commission member as well.
Oh,
Or
sure.
contact us here at the city council. You can,
Right.
we'll always be happy to forward you over there.
Yeah, these are mailed out quarterly.
Right, so
And
four
then they
times a
also
year,
have
right?
extra copies available at the Crystal Community Center and the Crystal City Hall if for some reason you didn't get one
Okay,
in your
right.
mailbox.
Yeah, so if people that we're talking to tonight think, oh, I don't know where I put that.
Or they
can
don't
always
live in
get a
Crystal, they
copy of
can
it,
stop
right.
and get
right,
one.
and electronically on the website. You can just
Okay.
click on a link and this whole booklet will show up
Ah.
as well.
And that'll show all the current recreational
Yes.
opportunities, right?
And they have electronic sign up as well to make things
Ah.
really easy. Or if you would like to book a park
Uh-huh.
for a family event or gathering, you
Right.
can do that through the Park and Rec Department as well.
Now, I've got a issue that because I've been watching it in the news, that I've been asking all the people from all the cities about. Minneapolis and St. Paul have been getting a lot of publicity because they're looking at issues dealing with businesses, with the pay, sick leave. They're also different cities other than that are looking at issues with, should we have plastic bags? In fact, this morning's paper, Edina set rules for smokers that they can't sell it to anybody under 21. So it's a different area than cities usually get into. So I thought we would take a little time to talk with people from the different cities on, first of all, do you have any groups in your area lobbying for these kind of changes?
In our area, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Statewide, we have the League of Minnesota Cities, which is quite involved because they represent
Right,
Minneapolis
right.
and St. Paul, as well as all of our outstate cities. So we get weekly updates from the league. But because we have no issues in Crystal currently, we're not talking about getting rid of plastic bags or
Right,
upping the age
right.
for smoking. It hasn't affected us here. And
Yeah,
we
and-
have not been, I have not been contacted by anyone
Yeah,
on these
and that
issues
was kind
either.
of, is there any movement towards this in the suburbs is one of the things. And then what are some of the problems that cities might face if they move into those kinds of issues? I thought we could talk about.
Well, I belong to the local Crystal, Robbinsdale, New Hope Rotary
Okay.
Club, and we meet every Friday morning. We have a speaker come every week to just talk about a different
Sure.
topic. And we did recently have somebody from like the Hennepin County Health come and advocate to us to stop selling like the little flavored cigars in your community,
right.
or make things 21.
Yeah.
Smoking 21. So there is, I think I can feel a little sense that it's starting to spell out into the suburbs.
Okay.
Or at least that's the sense about it I got.
Right, right.
But as to how I feel about it,
And more just a reaction, not anything we're going to
I
hold
think-
anybody to, but just what
I
you're
think
thinking.
they're butting in business that they have no right to. That's
Okay.
my personal opinion.
Sure.
I think city government should be about providing, good streets, clean drinking water, and people want to flush their toilets. They want to feel safe, so they want law enforcement, and they want fire service.
Right.
But it isn't up to me as an elected official to police what I think parents should be policing. And the state sets laws that they feel are reasonable for selling alcohol, for instance. That's 21.
Right.
And so we will abide by that, and we will fashion our policies and our ordinances after what the state says. But since I don't pay taxes or payroll for these businesses, I think if they are adhering to the state guidelines, I'm just going to leave them be. Because I've always felt like,
sure.
And for instance, I work in the city of Minneapolis, and we were recently purchased by a national company, and I need bags to put merchandise in, to send merchandise out the door. And I can't get bags from corporate because they said, well, the city of Minneapolis has an ordinance where you can't have bags, plastic bags. I said, what? It's single-use plastic bags, which I'm assuming are the ones like you get from the convenience stores. But I mean, they're really not single-use to me because I might carry something out and then I use them to line the garbage can by my dryer. So I'm using them twice, so they're not single-use.
At least,
but
right.
I guess I get kind of crabby when I watch some of these stories. I think, who do you think you are? So.
And it's the unintended consequences, I think, that concerns me the most. When you have a company, if, for instance, a person I know who is a state representative, he wrote online saying, I have a friend that owns restaurants in multiple places. So, and they have employees that are going back and forth. So are you going to tell that employee, well, you're going to get $13 here, but you're going to, how do you manage that? And how do companies, especially small businesses, how do they manage that? So as an unintended consequence, you're seeing businesses leaving. Minneapolis has seen quite a few. A lot of the shops are gone. A lot of restaurants have closed and are moving out of that area. You see West End, and the West End complex in St. Louis Park is huge. And you get free parking there. You have your stores all together. You have a great living arrangement. So it's easy to do business there. So Minneapolis, when you have all the things that are going on, the unintended consequences, you might say, hey, $15 an hour sounds great. We all want to see people earn an affordable wage. That's not the issue. But if a small business says, I'm not paying myself now, or I am going to have to cut your hours because this is all we've got. And if they're paying higher taxes and they're doing all this, you're making it harder for businesses to stay there. And that's the last thing you want, is loss of jobs because of some of these policies that you have set for your city. Now think of Edina with this upping cigarette sales to 21. Where are people going to go? Bloomington. They're going to go next door. They're going to go to Richfield or, what's north of Edina? St. Louis Park, perhaps. So, then what's going to happen to those store owners? They're going to lose business.
There's a lot of factors involved. That's why I thought just talking about it would be good to bring the issue up.
It's like if we can all just think ahead to what happens if, and think of those unintended consequences, and is it going to do more harm than good? That's my concern.
Sure. And then the other aspect of it is maybe this should be a state law versus city by city. And people feel differently about that because there is some bills moving through the legislature and people are concerned about taking away your ability to do things.
Certain things you do need local control on. And if Edina chooses to up it to 21 for smoking, or to buy cigarettes, correct? Or is it just to be able
buy
to
cigarettes?
To buy cigarettes, that's their choice, but what are they going to see happen? And maybe another example might be Sunday sales. Now, locally, a business can choose to be open or not. The state just is allowing them to be open, but it doesn't say you have to be. There's local control. We're allowing that business to make their own decision. So
so there's just a lot of factors to to think about, and this is just to start the thinking process. Not okay. Now, the Crystal Airport has an open house, and they have a hangar, a dance, and fireworks. And this has been going on for a few years, right?
This year we're having our 25th airport open house.
25 years.
So it's kind of a big deal. Right. And Gary Grimes and a few other guys years ago started this. We're essentially just get some planes that will fly in, and we offer, at least on Sunday anyway, airplane rides and helicopter rides for a fee. And then the Lions Club participates, and they have a big breakfast. And we buy our pancake batter from Papa's Pancakes at Crystal Cafe. I don't know if you've ever had their pancakes, but they're delicious. We also have like paddle planes coming this year, which are little things that the kids can get in and paddle around and pretend they're flying a plane. And we have Three Rivers Park District will be coming in and setting up a display. You know, and they usually bring like worms and butterflies and snakes, things for kids to look at. And
vendors.
And that's when will that be?
Well, it is Sunday, June 18th. Is the kind of the family-friendly day, if you will.
And goes from what time to
It
what
goes
time?
from about 8:30 until about 3 o'clock.
Okay, because I'll put a little notice on when we do the show.
And then this year we're having a hangar dance. This will be our third year. First year we had the Del Counts. We have the dance at the airport at a hangar. And the second year we had Boogie Wonderland. And then we started offering evening airplane rides at the same time. So we're going to do that again this year. We're having Schizophonic is the band.
Okay.
And so we have it in the hangar, and then we kind of open the hangar doors, and then it kind of overlooks the airport.
Okay.
So you can see the planes, you know, coming in and going at night. And this year, because it's our 25th, anniversary of the airport open house, we're having fireworks at the airport.
Fun.
At about 10:15, we're gonna. So that it should be a fun evening, you know, weather permitting. It's really nice, and it's a free dance. You know, anybody can come and watch the fireworks and listen to the music for free. We do. We would appreciate an in-kind donation, but there's no obligation.
Right.
And we will have soda pop, a couple food trucks there,
Cash bar.
And a cash bar with beer and wine.
Beer and wine.
Yeah.
And this is the night before Sunday.
Yeah.
This is Saturday night.
So Saturday night, June 17th. And so information about the event will be at the, well, of course, on my Facebook page, but also the City of Crystal Facebook page.
We're all helping promote it.
Yes,
That's my favorite event of the year, besides the frolics.
Now, we're running out of time, but I just want to mention that May 18th, you have Glow in the Dark Beyond the Yellow Ribbon event. Where can people find out more information
And
on
again,
that?
the City of Crystal website. And we will be golfing at New Hope Golf Course. And we'll probably tee off about 7:30 in the evening. We use glow-in-the-dark golf balls. It's $35 a golfer, and you have like pizzas included, pizza and pops. And all of the money raised goes towards our Beyond the Yellow Ribbon committee, which nobody gets a salary. All that money is donated back out to veterans in the 4 communities, Crystal, Robbinsdale, Golden Valley, and New Hope, who might have a veteran family that runs into a little hard time and they need a little help. So it's a nice way to have a little fun, but donate and help out.
I want to thank you so much for sharing your time and your experience and ideas. We're glad that you've been with us, and we'll look for you next week. Bye.